Start with the Mangala chapter. All the assembled devotees, please accept my humble obeisances and greetings. Please welcome to the call. Om Gyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshuran Milita Miena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Mano Abhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Pada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaisnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhani Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, Haribo, all the devotees, please welcome to the call. We are reading Srimad Bhagavatam today, Canto 2, text 9, Canto 2, chapter 9, text that's 2. So I don't know if there's someone who is willing to read for us the Sanskrit again, please.
Prabhuji, kindly read the verse. Yavan aham yatha bhavo. When you read, then we can repeat after you.
Yavan aham yata bhavo
Yavan aham yatha bhavo.
Jadrupa guna karmakaha
Yadrupaha gunakarmaka.
Tataiva tattva vijnanam
Tataiva tattva vijnanam.
Astute mad anugrahat
Astu te mad anugrahat.
Yavan aham yata bhavo
Yavan aham yatha bhavo.
Jadrupa guna karmakaha
Yadrupa gunakarmaka.
Tataiva tattva vijnanam
Tatvaita tattva vijnanam.
Astute mad anugrahat.
Astu te mad anugrahat.
Okay. Translation. For word. Yavan,
Yavan,
as I am in eternal form.
as I am in eternal form.
Aham, myself.
Aham, myself.
Yata, as much as.
Yata, as much as.
Bhavaha, transcendental existence.
Bhava, transcendental existence.
Yat, those.
Yat, those.
Rupa, various forms and colors.
Rupa, various forms and colors.
Guna, qualities.
Guna, qualities.
Karmakaha, activities.
Karmakaha, activities.
Tata, so and so.
Tatha, so and so.
Eva, certainly.
Eva, certainly.
Tattva Vijnanam, factual
Tat-
realization.
Tattva Vijnanam, factual realization.
Astu, let it be.
Astu, let it be.
Te, unto you.
Te, unto you.
Mat, my.
Mat, my.
Anugrahat, by causeless mercy.
Anugrahat, by causeless mercy.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Yeah.
All of me, namely my actual eternal form and my transcendental existence, color, qualities, and activities, let all be awakened within you by factual realization out of my causeless mercy. Would anyone like to read the purport?
Has
Any
Mataji joined us? Has Mataji joined us? Radhika Kasturi Mataji.
Not yet.
No, she has not joined us. Kindly read as I try to get her.
Purport. The secret of success in understanding the intricacies of knowledge of the absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, is the causeless mercy of the Lord. Even in the material world, the father of many sons discloses the secret of his position to the pet sons. The father discloses the confidence unto the son whom he thinks worthy. An important man in the social order can be known by his mercy only. Similarly, one must be very dear to the Lord in order to know the Lord. The Lord is unlimited. No one can know him completely, but one's advancement in the transcendental loving service of the Lord can make one eligible to know the Lord. Here we can see that the Lord is sufficiently pleased with Brahmaji, and therefore he orders his causeless mercy to him so that Brahmaji may have the factual realization of the Lord by his mercy only.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Radhika. Hare Krishna Radhika Kasturi Mataji. Please accept our humble obeisances. Welcome. Thank you for giving your time to join the call today and to take us through this verse. We had just started reading the verse. I don't know what you would like us to continue. Shall we continue or will you take it up?
Prabhuji, whatever. So did you finish reading a paragraph or so?
Yes, I just finished the first paragraph.
First paragraph? Yeah. That's good enough. We can do a recap just in a while. Okay, Prabhuji?
Okay, that's no problem. Thank you.
Om Ajnana-Timirandasya Jnananjana-Shalakaya Chakshuruन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्तदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम नमो ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय शृण्वता स्वागता कृष्ण पुण्य श्रवण कीर्तन हृदयन्तस्थो हि अभद्राणि विदुनोति सुकृत्सतम् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So we are in the section of second canto, ninth chapter, where Brahma is posing some questions to the Lord, and the answers for these would be seen in the Chatusloki Bhagavatam. And this is going to be coming up very soon. As you all are aware, the next few classes that you'll be having is Chatusloki Bhagavatam. It's very important that you understand these questions and the answers for the same. So now we all know, as far as today's recap goes, we all know being pleased with Brahmaji, Lord invites Brahma, ask for some benedictions. As you can see, the 19th verse says, Lord accepted Brahma as worthy of following his commands for creating the universe, and being pleased with him, he shook his hand and spoke. What did he speak? He says, Lord says to Brahma, I'm very satisfied with your long penance in order to carry out the creation. I'm hardly satisfied with those pseudo mystics. Now, since I'm very satisfied, Brahmaji, please ask for benediction from me. I'm the giver of benedictions. But you may know that the ultimate benediction of all penances is to see me. This darshana of my abode is the highest perfection. This is possible because of your severe penance. Know that it was I who spoke tapa tapa when you were perplexed in your duty. Penance is my heart and soul, and therefore penance and I are not different. I create, maintain, and destroy this material universe only by penance, and my power arises from the intense penance. Brahma said, being the super soul, you know everyone's desires and endeavors. And now Brahmaji, of course, is asking these questions to the Lord. First, he's asking, Lord, I would like to know about your material and spiritual forms, which is the 26th verse. 27th, he's saying, how are your various spiritual and material energies working? I would like to know about that. And then the third question he asks is with regards to Lord's activities. What are your activities in relation to the material and spiritual energies? And the fourth he asks, please bestow your mercy for my execution of your instructions without pride and bondage. Again, we all know the pride is what is going to, the ego. Yes, I am the doer. That is what is going to keep you bound in this material world. So Brahmaji is very, very intelligent, right? And he says, see, I have to execute your instructions, and just not only execute your instructions, but I have to execute it in a way that I do it without any kind of pride and bondage. This is the benediction that he's asking for. So we all understand in the verses 26 to 30, Brahmaji is questioning to the Lord. What are all the questions? He asks about Lord's forms. He asks about Lord's energies, and then he asks about Lord's activities. As you all can see, Lord is now going to talk about Chatusloki. He's going to speak Chatusloki, and then he would conclude it. After that, he would disappear. So this is what is going to happen now. So as you all can see, in the 32nd verse, so Lord is saying, it's only through my mercy, Brahma, that you may attain this perfect realization of the details about my forms, qualities, and pastimes. That's what he wanted to know, right? What all he wanted to know? He wanted to know about Lord's form. He wanted to know about Lord's energy and how they are working, both material and spiritual. Apart from that, he also wants to know about Lord's activities. Now, how can Brahmaji attain or get this knowledge? It's only through Lord's mercy. That's what is being talked about in verse number 32. I just wanted to sort of give you this gist so you're able to understand where we are going, right? So first, we all can understand Lord is pleased with Brahmaji and he tells, okay, Brahma, ask me for benedictions. After that, Brahmaji being put in the situation, he comes forward with certain set of questions to the Lord. And now Lord is in a position to answer to Brahmaji. Right? He poses the questions, and now Lord is saying, yes, I'll give you the answers. Again, there's one caveat here. That's what is the 32nd verse. How can you attain knowledge of these questions, or how can you get the realization of the details with regards to these questions? It's only through my mercy that you'll be able to understand or realize. Okay, so we all should understand, dear devotees, if at all, if we are able to understand Srimad Bhagavatam to a little bit, it's due to the mercy of our spiritual master, and through him, through the mercy of Krishna. That's the point, right? We cannot say, yes, I'm a learned person, I know everything. That means you are already proud of it, and it's your ego which is making you boast and say, yes, I'm very knowledgeable. That's not humility, and you're already degraded. So you have to rise up and get through your ego. For that, you have to understand, yes, I'm egoistic. Okay, so dear devotees, introspection is always important, and see how these interactions will help us understand Brahmaji is in such a big position. He is the creator of the universe, and how humbly he's just bowing down to the Lord, how humbly he's asking him for benedictions, and how humbly he's saying, yes, I must be doing my job, I must be executing your instructions, but I must do it without pride and bondage. This is the learning from Srimad Bhagavatam, dear devotees. At any point in time, try to be humble. This humility will help us in a long run. It will even keep you at peace. If you think about it, this humility, being humble and being naive, I know people will take you for granted. That might be one thing that you might think, but in the long run, it's going to keep your heart clean. It's going to keep you out of pressure. It's going to give you peace. Okay. Even from a materialistic standpoint, it has these benefits. Now, let's explore a little bit on this verse, and then I wanted to probably quote some relevant things with regards to this verse for today. Okay, let's do that. Now, if you so we'll just go through in gist of what Srila Prabhupada is trying to say in the purport. As you've been, Prasanatma Prabhu was reading first paragraph. We'll again go through the gist of what Srila Prabhupada talks about in the verse, and then we will go to the other section where we can see some relevant pastimes. Now, the secret of success in understanding the intricacies of the knowledge of the absolute truth of Godhead, it is the mercy of the Lord. It's the causeless mercy of the Lord, because of which you'll be able to understand the intricacies of the absolute truth. Again, we all know this fact. Lord is unlimited, and no one can definitely know him for full. But one's advancement in the transcendental loving service of the Lord can make one eligible to know the Lord. Okay. Here we can see that Lord is sufficiently pleased with Brahmaji, and therefore he is offering his causeless mercy to him. So Brahmaji may have that factual realization of the Lord through his mercy, only through his mercy. All right. So in the Vedas, also it is said that a person cannot know the absolute personality of Godhead simply by mundane education or intellectual gymnastics. No, that's not the way how you can know the Lord. One can know the Lord if one has unflinching faith in the spiritual master, in the bona fide spiritual master, as well as in the Lord. That is how he can know the Lord. And Lord has, we all know, he has his qualities, he has his form, he has his pastimes, everything that we can see in a person, he has these descriptions. And all these descriptions, all these descriptions of the transcendental personality of Godhead, factual realizations that are felt by the devotee of the Lord. And again, by the causeless mercy of the Lord, they are revealed to his pure devotees and no one else. See, if I am not pure, I may not know Lord to the extent that a pure devotee knows about the Lord. Because it's the mercy of the Lord that's flowing through because of his devotion. Ye tamam prapatyante tamstataiva bhajami, right? To the extent you do something, accordingly you will get reciprocation from the Lord. And so we also know the Lord is the Lord eternally. And one cannot become the Lord by meditation for, say, millions of years or by mental speculation for millions of years. No. So Lord selected Arjuna as the recipient of this great science, right? To being his devotee of the Lord. But for the demon, it's not possible to understand this great mysterious science. Is it possible? No. 9.1, this Lord said, "My dear Arjuna, you're never envious of me, and I shall impart you this most confidential knowledge and realization, knowing which you shall be relieved of miseries and material existence." Again, when you look at the messages that are coming from the Lord, they are full of potencies. And these potencies can be realized if topics regarding the Lord are discussed amongst the devotees. We have to come as a congregation, like how you're doing, dear devotees, day and night. You are having Srimad Bhagavatam classes. And all of you devotees have been so regular to the classes. I don't see anybody miss any class for that matter. This shows the devotion you have. And this devotion is definitely going to be rewarded. Lord is seeing your devotion and he will say, yeah, I will give you more and more opportunities to learn about me, to listen about me. Shravanam, I will make sure there is another congregation or, more satsang. This is the way we come together to discuss Krishna Katha and relish Krishna Katha. That's what is the point. Only, see, he is full of potencies, and these potencies can be realized if topics regarding the Supreme Lord are discussed amongst the devotees. The devotees are constantly engaged in the service of the Lord. And Lord understands, yes, the mentality of the devotees, the sincerity of the living entity who's doing Krishna consciousness. And then what does he do? He gives him that intelligence. Yes, you understand the science of Krishna in the association of devotees. Start relishing Krishna Katha. When will you start relishing Krishna Katha, dear devotees? The day will come when we start making less offenses. The ruchi will come more and more. At that point, anything and everything about Krishna will seem sweet. Till the point we are materialistic, and when we are making offenses, till that time it's difficult to get that ruchi. So let's work on that. Of course, we have, I don't think I can say we have time. Whatever we have left, we should just utilize it and pray. Yes, let me slowly get away from these material entanglements. Let me slowly give me the opportunity. Let my mind not crave for more and more material things. Let me not become attached to my material duties, but instead give me the opportunity to serve the devotees, to serve the Lord, to serve everyone who are serving the Lord. This is what I want day after day. I want to be constantly engaged, either listening to you or serving you or spreading your glories or singing your glories. Whatever that is, I want to be engaged in your lotus feet, my Lord. And whenever we get an opportunity to serve our spiritual master, we should just take it up. This is what we are here for. Serve our spiritual master with the highest sincere devotion as much as possible. Because if you look at our spiritual master, His Holiness, say for, we've been interacting with His Holiness Ramapad Swami Maharaj. Maharaj, day and night, he just thinks about what he has to do in terms of service. How can he help? He has plans. Not only this year is planned. Maharaj goes to different cities in India, pilgrimages, not only in India and the Dhams, but also visits every city in the US where his devotees are, and he makes his plans to promote or spread Krishna Katha. He goes to his universities, he goes to different cities. At this age, we would want to sit in a place and just do what we want to do. But Maharaj has been so compassionate to give Krishna Katha to others, to spread the glories of Krishna to others. And his schedule is just not booked for this year, 2024. 2025 is planned, and 2026 what he wants to do. Like he would want to go to China or any other country with the set of devotees who can also join him in spreading the glories of Krishna. That is also being discussed and that is also being planned. This is Krishna consciousness, dear devotees. So I do a little bit of service to Maharaj, and through that I'm able to understand how much he's doing to the community, how much he's spreading the glories of the Lord. Right? This is not easy. This is what is Smaran. You are thinking about Krishna, what I can do for you, what more can I do for you? I just can't situate myself in that platform, but at least we know this is what our spiritual masters are doing. They are planning, like how we plan our day schedule, our month schedule, our year schedule. They plan how to spread Krishna consciousness, how to serve the community, how to engage them in Krishna consciousness. This is the planning they do. So it's completely different, right? And through this, Krishna will be pleased, very pleased. And when you get an opportunity to serve somebody like that, that is the fortune. It's not that you are serving him. He is blessing you through the service that he is giving it to you. That's the point. He can get it done through anybody or he can do it himself or whatever. But when that opportunity comes, with how much sincerity we have to do. Because you are serving a person who's thinking about Krishna, who's living Krishna all the time. Only a person who has Krishna can give Krishna to you. Right? That is the philosophy. That is how you get the mercy. If somebody doesn't have that, then how can they give you that? Right? So when you come across such people, just hold on and cling on to the lotus feet and do service with sincerity, with devotion. Just long, when am I going to get next service? When am I going to serve him again? That longing, that desire is what Krishna will see. Even if you don't serve him, no problem, because you have never gotten that opportunity yet. But you're having the desire. The desire started sprouting in your heart. Yes, I want to serve such a person. That is enough. That's what Krishna is looking for. Yes. And the day will come when Krishna will fulfill that desire. This is magic that Krishna will do on his end. So let's wait for that magic, dear devotees. But till then, we will keep increasing our eagerness all the time, all the time. And that can happen only when our heart is clean a little bit. When it's filled with so much kachada, how can you even think of who's that? I really don't care. I don't have time to think about him or any other person for that matter. Little bit it has to be clean. For that, avoid offenses. Do as much service to the devotees and get that goodwill from them and increase your sukruti. Okay? Keep doing all that till the time your heart cleans up. Okay. So, yes. So that's on that. And then let's move on, dear devotees. So, in 10.1, Lord is saying, listen again, O mighty armed Arjuna, because you're my dear friend. For your benefit, I shall speak further, giving the knowledge that is better than what I have already explained to you. So, the more one hears about the Supreme Lord, the more one becomes fixed in devotional service. So, one should hear about the Lord in the association of devotees. And what is that going to do? It will enhance one's devotional service. So, surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And if one is going to surrender, then he is going to be free to deliberate on the subject as far as his intelligence goes. That is the best way one can accept the instruction of the personality of Godhead. Such instruction is coming through whom? Through the spiritual master, the bona fide representative of Krishna. Concentration of the mind on the form of Krishna, it constitutes a confidential part of knowledge and is disclosed to Arjuna because Arjuna is one of the dearmost of Krishnas. You'll find in many Vedic literatures the Maha Mantra is especially recommended for understanding the God in this age of Kali Yuga. It is all noted in various Vedic scriptures like Agni Purana, Kali Santarana Upanishad, Brihad Naradya Purana, and many others. We all know Haridas Thakur, what he did. He chanted 3 lakhs names of Krishna each day. That means 16, the 1208 names in each round of mala. Dividing that by 300,000 by 1728 comes to around 175 rounds a day. 16 rounds is getting difficult. And what about Haridas Thakur Namacharya? How that number is far beyond. And all this can happen only by the mercy of the Lord. Haridas Thakur has that prem naam, and that's why he's able to chant continuously, dear devotees. Once we reach that stage, then it's always about Krishna and Krishna naam, Krishna's glories, Krishna's pastimes. Imagine that life. It's completely, you have to give your heart to be with Krishna. Till then, if our heart is just on so many other things. Yes, what does this material world has to offer? What is he got to offer me? What is this medical business going to offer me? Or what is this? What am I going to get out of it? When our heart is into so many things, we are a split personality now. We are not like having that one pointed dedication. That's what we should pray for. That one pointed dedication and devotion. Nothing else matters. Just Krishna and Krishna and Krishna and Krishna. Nothing but Krishna. This is the one pointed devotion that we need. And we should strive for it. It comes with eagerness, it comes with enthusiasm, it comes with a heartful, soul felt desire that I just want Krishna and nothing but Krishna. I would like to quote here a personal story. It's a story of, a distant friend. So it so happened that, this lady is an old lady. She was going on a walk. And during her walk, there was somebody who offered her a watermelon. She's an old lady. She was offered a very red watermelon. By looking at that watermelon, obviously she started to feel, yeah, I'm very thirsty now and it's time for me to eat a watermelon. Why not? So this area is filled with a lot of unknown people. You basically don't know who they are. And she happened to just see this person for the first time. And when this person requested her to eat a watermelon, she gladly accepted it because she's just feeling, yeah, he's just a nice guy. Thinking me to be an old lady, he offered this watermelon, so let me just eat it. So she started eating the watermelon. And now this guy comes to her with his wife and children, 2 children, and he was showing her, yeah, look at this golden watch I have. This is from Saudi Arabia, and look at it. And he's just putting all the jewelry or whatever he has on the socks of his daughter or his son, and showing this to this old lady. This old lady is, she never thought anything else, but she was eating her watermelon and she was like, what's going on? Okay. And before she could realize, her chain was snatched away by this man. He happened to give her a hug or something. And then in no time, her chain was gone. Like she was wearing the Mangal Sutra. And then she also had another gold chain on her, which was from Bahrain or Saudi Arabia, whatever. It was very shining, and he took that away from her. Now, dear devotees, so he had a big knife to cut the watermelon, okay? So that's another point to be noted. He had a very big knife to cut the watermelon, and that was used only to cut the watermelon. How he snatched the chain, we don't know. but this was an unusual stranger encounter that happened. And now the next day or the same evening, so this lady is a Hanuman Bhakta. Okay, she's a very good devotee of Hanuman. When this happened, she said, I have no interest in doing what is it, Sundarakantam anymore. I don't think I would do it. The whole of last week, I did the entire Sundarakandam. I read through it. I did so much for you, Hanuman, and now you're putting me through such a difficult situation. What is this? I'm just not going to touch it. I'll keep it aside and I'll not talk to you anymore. I'm not going to have any sort of interaction with you because, you took away this thing from me and I'm not going to be happy about it. This is practicality, right? I mean, when you're put into a situation, this happened real time just a few days ago. What am I supposed to say? I mean, it's quite natural for our mind to say this, right? This guy had a knife, he could have done anything with that knife. He probably mixed something in the watermelon and gave it to her, because of which she just lost consciousness for a minute, and she was not able to react, or she didn't even realize her chain was snatched. So I mean, being a devotee of Lord, how can I encounter such material miseries in my life? This is a normal, everyday question devotees would ask. Krishna, how would I react if something happened like this to me? Knowing what I know, right? When it comes to practicality, we all behave very differently, dear devotees. That's what we need to think. So, this particular lady, the very, very good devotee, she reads the entire Sundarakandam. It takes about 6-7 hours to read entire Sundarakandam sloka by sloka. I'm not talking about just reading and see, we are done with our 16 rounds in what? This takes longer. He is able to read through that sloka by sloka with nice pronunciation and everything. But still, when it comes to faith, you just are, we may not be strong enough. That's the point I'm trying to make. Irrespective of what you know, how much knowledge you have, how much faith you have matters a lot. Because that's what determines how you react to provoking situations. How am I reacting? Every time introspect that. How am I reacting? Am I having the pride? Am I having the ego? Am I having humility? Am I having compassionate heart? Am I on the side of Krishna? This is what we need to introspect. Okay. I wanted to quote this because it really touched my heart for some reason, because I've seen her chanting this and I've seen her doing day and night continuously, like 7 hours, 8 hours, whatever it takes. She's just an old lady. She's 80 years old and she does this. But when this was lost, this is what she said. Maybe it's not from her heart. It may be for 1 or 2 days. But again, the point is how much faith we have on the Lord. Anything worse could have happened, right? He could have just taken her neck or did something with a knife, did anything. Nothing. It happened to her. Physically, nothing happened to her. It was just the jewels were taken away from her. She felt really sentimental about Mangal Sutra. Of course, anybody would have that feeling because it's something that's very close to your heart. But again, how can you see Krishna's mercy in this situation? Krishna, I'm still able to think about you. I'm still with you. I'm still able to serve you. I'm seeing you in the deity form and I'm able to serve you. Would we be able to think through in that way without even getting worried about what has happened? You should not even worry and ask Krishna, yes, just somehow or the other, get me the chain that guy snatched. Because in Bhagavad Gita and any other scripture we read over and over, all these material things come and go. They are not permanent, they are temporary. If you have it, okay, that's your punya. If you don't have it, no problem. God has taken away and you did something and He's taken away. That develops that detachment. How can that detachment come? We can't artificially create that detachment. I'm attached to my gold. How can I be detached? For that, you have to develop attachment to Krishna with faith and devotion. That's the way you will automatically get detached. Anyways, this was something that I wanted to tell because it just bothered me for this week for some time. So I just thought, let me quote this particular incident that happened real time. As you all can see, it is mentioned the Lord discloses to the devotee his unlimited varieties of transcendental bodies, all identical with one another with different kinds of bodily features. Right? In the translation, that's what it says. 3 major qualifications to receive knowledge from Krishna. What are the qualifications? Friend, you should not be envious of the Lord and you should be devotee of the Lord. These are the 3 qualifications for you to receive the mercy from the Lord. And then Prabhupada quotes about 4.3 and 9.1 and 10.1. And then he says in 18.62, he quotes the verse and says, "Oh, Bharata, surrender on to him ultimately. By his grace, you will attain the transcendental peace and supreme and eternal abode." This is what he says. And in 18.63, he quotes, Krishna doesn't interfere with your free will. Whatever free will he has, he will let you do that. That's what 18.63 says. And 64, because you're my dear friend, I'm speaking to you my supreme instruction, the most confidential knowledge of all. And hear this from me. And this is how you're going to benefit. And then 18.65, he says, always think of me, become my devotee, offer your homage unto me, and thus you will come to me without fail. I promise this, oh my dear friend. So we all see over and over, he gives you the free will to do what you want. That's the important point. So when we become more experienced in Krishna consciousness through preaching, and if we are sincere and serious to make progress in spirituality, you don't have to worry about yourself further. Krishna will give you that intelligence, and you don't have to be concerned for it. Always what we have to do, try to please him by our sincere chanting and sincere service. That's all. For doing a businessman will have to lie in a business. Just like Krishna himself, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he had to fabricate something during emergency situations. So there is no prohibition one shall ever, never lie, because the business of carrying a propaganda work, sometimes it may be necessary. Krishna conscious means practical living. This is what is the point that Srila Prabhupada has made in his letter to Igneshwara. His question was, should the devotee always speak the truth in every circumstance? And for that, Prabhupada just responded in this way. See, the neophyte devotee who's unable to comprehend the existence of God, how he shall become the lover of the Lord? Therefore, what Prabhupada is saying is, oh yeah, that person has to be engaged in deity worship. That person will gradually then get that sense. When he's engaged in this deity worships, gradually he will elevate. Even if he has no love of God, by following the regulative principles, by worshipping the deity, he will awaken that dormant love. Again, the point is you should have some sort of faith in your spiritual master. And by engaging in the service of your spiritual master, you will also attain the point of love of Godhead. So it's not possible, isn't it? It's not possible without the mercy of the spiritual master. So this is the point, dear devotees. As you all understand, there are a lot of key takeaways from this particular purport. And we understand it's very revealing. A lot of things that Prabhupada says are revealing. Devotees of the Lord are engaged in the specific duty of the Lord, and these duties should be carried out without any hindrance. And the credit goes to whom? The credit goes not to the doer but the Lord. But the persons with a poor fund of knowledge, Prabhupada says, they take credit to their success in their own accounts and not giving that credit to the Lord. That is the symptom of a non-devotee class of men. That's what Prabhupada says. This line in the purport is very revealing. And we have to understand the fact Brahma doesn't create the living entities. In the beginning of the creation, he is empowered to give different bodily shapes to the living entities according to their work they had in the last millennium. And Brahmaji's duty is to wake up those living entities from that slumber and give them proper engagement in terms of duties. So the different grades of living entities, they are not created by Brahma. But he is interested with the task to give the living entities different grades of body so that they can do whatever work they are destined to do accordingly. So he is conscious that he is only instrumental. So that he may not think to himself, yes, I am the Supreme Lord, I am the Creator. No, that's not what Brahmaji is thinking. Krishna is the primary creator and Brahma is who? He is an instrument of the Lord who is entitled to put the living entities in different bodies as per their karma. So I have a meeting in 5 more minutes, dear devotees. But anyways, so this is what is the, as you can understand, this is what is the meaning of the purport. We need to understand what is false and what is true, and we are all instruments in the service of the Lord. If somebody is preaching, it's just due to Lord's mercy and the spiritual master's mercy, somebody is able to do whatever service. It could be preaching, it could be singing, it could be playing instruments. Everything comes from the mercy of the Lord, dear devotees. So with these words, we are able to understand that we should leave our ego and surrender to our heart with full devotion. Again, that is the point. So let's call it a day. Vanchakalpatarupyascha kripasindubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Bhakta Vrind ki jai. All glories to the humble devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and our spiritual master. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Mataji. Prashanatma Prabhu, can you continue and thank our speaker for the day? Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Radhika. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, for allowing me to continue. Thank you, Radhika Kasturi, Mataji, for the wonderful session. Very important point today about how the Lord reigns supreme in all things, how important it is not to credit ourselves as the doers, and just to try as much as possible to increase our devotion, to focus, and yes, to do our best in our devotional service. So thank you so much, Mataji, for those inspiring words. And thank you for allowing us to hear more and more about the Bhagavatam, to hear more and more about the glories of the Lord. So since you are held up a bit, you're about to go somewhere, I'll just really quick, if there's any question, maybe just one from Mataji. Otherwise, we can conclude and let her go to the other duty, please.
Hare Krishna.
Hi.
I got in because I'm just joined, but I'm just wondering, wasn't Brahmaji doing his duty as a demigod?
Yes, Brahmaji is doing his duty as a demigod. At the same time, he is, you know, when you're doing your duty, you may think you're the doer, right? And that's where that's what he doesn't want to think. He's saying that I'm just instrumental. I'm just used as an instrument in the service of your Lord, and I'm not doing anything. You are the primary creator. What I'm doing, it's my duty, but again, I'm just being used as an instrument to serve you, oh my Lord. This is his mentality. And he doesn't want to have any sort of pride or ego or be stuck in the bondage while he's executing his duty. This is another benediction he asks or requests from the Lord. Please, Lord, let me do my duty, but I should do it without bondage or without me me having that pride, thinking I'm the doer. No, I don't want to have that kind of mentality.
Yes.
Hope that helps.
Is there a demigod that was different, was puffed up with their actions?
Of course, you see Indra all the time getting puffed
Oh,
up.
right. Indra.
Yeah.
Yeah. Haribo.
Yes.
That
Haribo.
Mataji, I love your lecture. It was beautiful. You give us some sweet and the example of that 80-year-old lady was wonderful. It topped it up. Is how we process it in our lives, isn't it? All these material assets that we acquire.
Yes. Now, what we have to do is just think of ourselves being in that situation. What would I do? Will I go to Krishna or will I think what I lost? Obviously, we will have to accept the fact I will grieve upon what I lost. Even though it is material, even though I'm knowledgeable, I know material things are temporary. But what will I go and do? I will just go and cry to Krishna, somehow or the other, get back the jewelry to me. This is my mentality. If I don't accept it, then how am I going to reform? Krishna, now what you have to do is just change my mentality. I don't want to be that person who comes and cries to you for jewelry. No, I don't want to be that person. Instead, I want to come and cry to you that I don't have any service to perform to you, or I don't have time to do anything for you. I should be that person. This is how I want to be, but I'm not in that state. So that's sort of the correlation I wanted to bring, Mataji, to bring us to reality, to help us understand where we are and where we have to be.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so
Hare
much.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much. We'll just end up real quick so that we can release you to your other duty. Thank you all the devotees also for joining in the class today. We can continue every day like this. So please, in appreciation of Radhika Kasturi Mataji for the wonderful class, please let's unmute and chant the Hare Krishna mantra.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Tarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
Jai.
Grace Radhika Kasturi Mataji ki.
All glories to the
Jai.
assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Spiritual Master. Hare Krishna. See you all next week, dear devotees.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.